What's up, guys? Today we're coming at you with a Performapal deck profile. So let's jump into this deck profile and see what we're coming at you with. We're running 3 Performapal Pendulum Sorcerer. This guy, is really the main Performapal you really want to see. You want to get it in your hand as fast as possible. That way you can start generating your plays, getting your pot of greed play with your Performapals. Hopefully you have your Guardian Ariande. That way you can pop her and start getting your searches for that too. So it's very, very useful for the deck and helps the deck out a lot. We're also running 1 Performapal Lizard Draw and 1 Performapal Guitar Turtle. These 2 are the pot of greed of the deck. You activate this. When you activate a Performapal in the opposite zone, you draw a card for him. Pop this when you draw a card. It can be very, very useful and helps you start generating a lot of good plays. We're also running 2 Luster Pendulum, Draco Slayer. This guy is very, very crazy. To have him set up in your pen scale, pop your Ariande, get another Ariande, be able to then also get your search for your traps is just so good. Also too, allowing you to go into your Draco monsters in the extra deck is very useful. We're also running 3 of the Master Pendulum. This guy, is just a vanilla, very good for getting him out. Very good beat stick, very useful. He also helps you pop in the pen scale. He's not allowing you to get a search, but still just clearing out that pen scale can be very useful, setting up new plays. We're also running 2 Lecter, the Draco Overlord. This guy is good. A lot of people forget about his effects about negating pendulum monsters. That's very useful too. It can be very, very useful. And also too, if he does battle with a pendulum monster, it's not going to do any damage. Just blow that sucker straight up, so it's very good. We're also running 2 Vector. Vector is good, like I said, once again, negating the effects of your opponent's pendulum monsters. Right now, we're going into, we're not, pendulum heavy, but, we got the new structure deck out, so that can be very useful to you, making sure that your opponent's not getting the pendulum effects that they want to get. We're running 3 Guardian Ariande. This card is, busted. This card, if you can get a deck that makes this deck really busted, I can see this card going down to 1 because it's not once per turn, and you can just keep generating and keep getting those, traps to your hand, and it can really put a very big bad situation on board. And especially if this card is in the pendulum zone. The fact is, it says if you don't pay your life points for your traps, that's very good for you, considering a lot of your traps you're only paying life points for. We're also running 3 Abyss Actor Curtain Raiser. This is just to be able to make sure we can get a free special summon. You got no monsters out there, you got nothing in your pen scale, pop it out there, get a free special. Very useful. And we're also running 3 Dark Worm in the 1 Gate 0. This is just good for sending it to the graveyard, getting that special summon, helping you to set up your board very fast. If push comes to shove, it's a very simple pen scale to be able to help set up the board. Very, very useful. And that is it for our monsters. For our spell cards, we're running 1 Pot of Desires. Pot of Desires, I feel, is very needed for this deck. It is very useful. I don't think you need to run it more than 1 though. The deck has a natural draw engine inside of itself. But the fact is that everything in the deck is almost running at a 3 of. Makes it very easy to pop this card off, throw those 10 cards away, draw 2 cards, and just get the resources that you need. We're also running the 1 Dragon Shrine and the 1 Foolish Burial. This is for the Dark Worm engine to send them to the graveyard. Make sure you start getting those free pluses. Very useful to you. We're also running 2 Duelist Alliance. We're running 2 Duelist Alliance because it's going to help you search out your Luster Pendulums, things like that. It's going to help you search out some of your spell cards, help you start getting the plays that you want to be able to make, and get the board set up the way you want to. We're also running 1 Pendulum Paradox. This is a very good card, very easy for you to use. It's searchable. Also too, it helps, if you have your, let's say, your Master Pendulum in the extra deck, and you also have your Guardian Ariande, that can help you to set up more plays. They're going to be the same level, different names, and that's just going to help you to be able to get the plays, monsters back into your hand. That way you can pin something harder and not have to worry about losing a lot of advantage. We're also running 2 Unexpected Die. this card is very, very good. In tandem with, the fact that you could have things like Dark Wormers you can summon, you got your Curtain Raiser. This also helps you to get a normal monster on board, a free special summon, and just allows you to get the plays you need to make and get monsters on board, start going into your link plays, and just spam the field. And lastly, for the spell cards, we're running one Draco Face Off. This is just going to help you get all your plays started up with the Draco monsters. Your opponent's usually not going to make the choice that you want, but if you set them up right, it doesn't matter what choice they make, you're still going to get a plus off of it. But that is it for our spell cards. For the trap cards, we're running the one Solemn Judgment needed for the deck. You're running the one Solemn Warning, and we're running 3 Solemn Strikes. These are, I feel very, very crucial for the deck. It's going to help you to face whatever setup you need. If you want to stop anything, you can stop it. A warning, just going to stop any, pendulum summon that could be very detrimental. And your strikes is going to take care of all your monster effects. Also, some of the special summons too that your opponent might do. All these are needed. You're going to be able to search them with Ariande, and push come to shove, if you got her in the pendulum zone, you're not going to be paying life points, so that's not that bad of a deal. And lastly, for the traps, we're running 2 Grand Horn of Heaven. A lot of people dislike this card because of the fact that, sometimes your opponent can play around it, but if your opponent plays into this, yes, they will draw a card, but if you can make it so that you stop their play at the right time and make them go straight into their battle phase, guess what? Your trap worked. That's all that matters. If you're able to search out a strike, a warning, and a judgment in turn, and on top of that set this too, it's going to make it pretty hard for your opponent to play through that, and that's the name of the game. Just make sure that if you do play these cards, things like that, Witch's Strike is not a big deal right now, but Witch's Strike will hurt you, so you gotta make sure you play your cards right, be mindful. But that is it for the main deck. For the extra deck, we're running one Dino Power, the Mighty Draco Slayer. This guy is just good for making sure you protect all your pendulum monsters. Very, very useful to you. You want to have this guy in your extra deck to make sure you can protect all your pendulum monsters. We're running one Ignitor, Prominence. This guy, he helps to spam the field. He's going to be getting that non-targeting removal. Just very useful to you. Like I said, if you have your Guardian Ariande in your pendulum zone spot, pop her, spin something back. Also be able to special summon a Draco. Just helps you keep extending plays, get your searches, just keep making your boards the way you want to. We're running one Magister Paladin. This guy's just mainly just for the search effect. Also too, he's going to help you be able to special summon from out of the extra deck one of your Draco Lords or one of your Dracos. Just very useful to you. Helps you start setting up the board the way you want to. We're also running the Utopia package. You want to be able to run this as a rank 4 spam. Be able to set this up. Sometimes your opponent's going to get some big monsters out there. And if you're able to activate this, go into this, they don't stop you. That way you can kind of still swing the tide of the game into your balance and keep the plays going the way you want to. We're also running one number 41 Baguska. This is just to make sure you get the board set up the way you want to. If you didn't open up the way you want to, go into this, get him in defense mode, make sure your opponent can't activate the cards that they want to activate. We're running one Tornado Dragon. Tornado Dragons just to be able to make sure that you don't get hit real hard with your opponent saying anti-spell or something like that. Be able to blow off that crazy back row is going to be a problem to you. Keep your plays going. Same thing with number 101. You don't want your opponent having some stupid monster over there that's going to slow you down. Suck that monster up that could be a problematic card. Keep your plays going. Same thing with Castell. Castell, very good. Just if you got a problematic card, spin it back either into the hand or into the deck and keep your plays going the way you want to. We're running one Abyss Dweller. This is just to make sure that Dante's getting ready to get a boost, and we can't have Dante trying to run over us. You got Solomon Grades, they trying to do all crazy stuff in the graveyard. Just lock all those plays out. Go into your turn. Then your opponent's turn, just go ahead and detach the material. Tell them, hey, look, you ain't doing nothing in the graveyard. If you want to, go ahead, but you ain't getting no crazy effects. We're also running one Gaga Cowboy. This is just, make sure that, sometimes that life points does matter. So if you can get your opponent down by 800, if you need to, go ahead and get them down by 800 and get that game win. We're also running one Heavy Metamorphosis Electromite. This card is needed in all Pendulum decks. You want to have this card. You want to be able to play it. Get your pluses. It's going to pop the Pendulum zones that you don't need. Get your draw. Get your extra out of the extra deck. Get your plays going the way you want to. We're also running one Deco Talker. Deco Talker is just good as a good beater. Also, too, if push come to shove, tribute off one of your monsters to negate one of the cards that's going to target yours and destroy it. Very useful to you. And lastly, for the extra deck, we're running one Zephyr Metatron because we want to get as many pin zones opened up, the extra deck spots opened up as we want to. We want to be able to make sure that we can get the special summons that we want to get the plays we want. But that is it for the deck profile, guys. We hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you leave a comment, like, subscribe. Thanks, guys. We love you. We're out.